Okay, so the next tool I want to show you is the hinge adjuster. And this is, like the hood adjuster, is made out of 3/16 stainless steel, manufactured, high quality, really nice piece. And the way this works is this bolt will turn the claw up and down. And you apply this to your hinge, and then this claw will lift the bottom of your hinge up and down to get your adjustment. So here I've got a little mock-up, and this is an apron that I cut out of a '69 Mustang and then mocked up this little display. And here's the hinge for that. So the way you attach these, you go through the stock mounting holes, and you can see that claw will grip the bottom of the hinge and raise it up and down as needed. So you install it, keep the factory bolt in the top, and then you put your bolts in through the bottom like this and attach those. You have one in the front and one in the back. One thing you want to keep in mind is always check your apron before you put your hinge on there, because sometimes these nuts, over time, guys draw them up and they end up getting out here too far, and your hinge will catch on it. So you want to make sure your apron is nice and level across here. I take a hammer on dolly and adjust that as I need to. So you want to get a hood prop, open your hood up and prop it up like the hood adjuster I showed earlier. I'm going to demonstrate this on that '69 Boss 429 project that I've been working on. So let's get started. Okay, first step, always put your hood prop in here and adjust that to a point where there's not a whole lot of weight on the front of the hinge. Before I go too far, I want to make a comment. This is a '69 Boss 429, and these shock towers are cut, and that's Ford's handiwork, not mine. Okay, you can see I've already pulled the stock bolt out here and put this one on, and I pulled this one out. Now it's just stick those back in like that. Just snug it up a little bit. Then you want to raise your claw here till it's touching the bottom of your hinge. Okay. So now you want to make sure that these bolts are just snug. You don't have to have them very tight. You want to make sure, like I said before, this apron needs to be nice and level and nothing catching on it. So you want your hinge to be able to move freely. See how that moves up and down? There's a lot of weight on that. The hood's setting on it, but you can see it will move and it's not binding. Very important, because if that's binding in there as you go up, you can bend these if you over torque them. I've tested them, and it takes quite a bit of torque on that, but just be careful of that. So now to raise it, I've got the hinge all the way to the bottom right now, and to raise it, you just turn these bolts, and it will start lifting the hinge up. So you want to do them fairly even. Turn the front a little bit, turn the back a little bit, so you don't get the hinge in a bind. If you turn one too quick, it'll start twisting it and it'll get in the bind and it won't move. So the other thing this will allow you to do, it will allow you to pick the back or the front of the hinge up and get it turned a little bit. Sometimes you need to do that in order to get your hood layout just right. So I've got a piece of orange tape behind my hinge, and I'm going to just crank this all the way up so you can see how well it works. Try not to get my hand in front of it. You can see it picks that hinge up, no effort. Should be able to start seeing that orange tape. So this will lift it the full length of the slot in your hinges. So there's quite a bit of travel on them. So that gives you a good idea how much it lifts. I'm going to stop there. Now, if you wanted to turn your hinge just a little bit one way or the other, just tighten this one up to raise the front or this one to raise the back. So I usually like to try to start with my hinge all the way to the top. That way when I close the hood, I know that the hood's going to be above the fender and the cowl, and I don't have to worry about it scratching the paint. So once I get it up as high as it'll go, I tighten it. Then I test it, pull my hood prop out, lower the hood, and check it for height. And so now I can see it's up about, maybe 3/8 of an inch in the back corner. And you can see the tools will clear, those tools clear as you close the hood, so there's no interference with that. So now that I know I'm up about 3/8 here, I'll start lowering it. First, loosen my hinge up good. And see, now the bolts are all loose, and these tools hold it in place. You don't have to worry about it dropping on you. So I need to go down, and what I do is I'll put my finger right here between my hood and my fender, and that gives me a good gauge to look at as I'm lowering it. And I want to drop that probably really close to where the top of my finger is, based on how high it is out here. So I'll lower these. Check my gauge here. Need to go a little farther yet. Just a little bit more. Okay, hopefully you can see my finger there. It's just barely fitting in there, so I think that's probably going to be really close. So the next step, tighten these up. So I've tried these on other cars as well. Obviously there's no brake booster or master cylinder in here, but these will clear they'll clear the booster and the master cylinder. I've tried them on another car. I don't see anywhere that they would interfere on the passenger side or the driver's side. Okay, so I'll check it. That is perfect. By using my finger, I was able to gauge that. Let me pull the camera out. Again, I pull the prop out, drop the hood, check it. Right now it's right on the money. But if I had to drop it a little bit, I'd drop it or raise it, whichever you need. So you can see how you can dial that in really easy to get that flush. If you use the hood adjuster as well, like right now, since I've dropped that, I've got to pull that hood forward just a little bit. I would simply loosen these up, dial this a little bit like I showed before, and it'll pull the hood forward. So the hinge adjusters come off by torquing 2 bolts down, good. Then you can remove it, remove one of them, put that bolt in, tighten it up, and remove the last one. That takes care of the video on this hinge adjuster. Hopefully that explains how that works and answers a lot of questions that the guys have been having. Again, this is a nice, heavy stainless steel part that is well machined, good quality piece, made in America. So you can buy a set of these, one for each side if you really wanted to just adjust the back of the hood up. And you can make do with that. It's nice to have 4 of them, 2 on the front, or I'm sorry, 2 on each hinge. So you've got 1 in the front, 1 in the rear. You can adjust the hinge up a little bit, tilt it one way or the other. Sometimes you want to tilt that hinge back just a little bit, and it's nice to have 2. You can adjust that quick and easy. Pair that with these hood adjusters. Again, those are high quality, made in America stainless steel. So with combination of both of them, you can get these hoods fitting really good by yourself, no hassles, and you're going to save a lot of time. Thanks for watching.